So, good morning, dear students. Today we are going to start our next lesson. It will be the last lesson in this semester. So, the name of this lecture you have seen at the first slide. Yes, and it's connected with visualization. So, let's start our lecture, and as always, we can start it talking about basics of the subject, our lesson. So, what is visualization? Visualization is intended for graphical representation of the control object and is directly related to the controller program created in codices. So, we need to say this is feature of codices programming tool. Yes. So next, the codices visualization editor provides a set of ready-made graphical elements that can be associated appropriately with project variables. In online mode, the representation of elements on the screen changes depending on the values of variables. So, the properties of individual visualization elements as well as the visualization as a whole are set in the corresponding configuration dialogs and the object properties dialog. This defines the initial appearance of elements and binds dynamic properties to the values of project variables. Additional features are provided by the programmability of element properties through special structural variables. So, this is the basic information about codices visualization. Yes, it's very helpful for our programs. So, next slide. In this slide, we will talk about creating a visualization object. So how can we create a visualization in codices? So the visualization object is a codices tool located in the project organizer. It contains the performance and properties of the individual visualization elements of the project. One or more visualization objects can be created in a codices project and linked to each other. To create a new visualization object in the project organizer, we need to select Visualization tab and give the project command Add Object. After that, the new visualization dialog opens, where we need to enter the name of the new visualization. So after entering the correct name, close the dialog with the OK button. Yes. A window opens where you can edit the new visualization. The name of the visualization object in the project must be unique and not match the names of the other objects. So it means that the name of our visualization must not match the other names of functional blocks, functions or programs or variables in our project. It must be unique. So let's talk about visualization toolbar. Yes, when we create a new visualization object, we can edit it by using some toolbar. And in this section of our lecture, we will talk about this toolbar. So, the visualization toolbar contains basic methods for displaying various geometric shapes from which it is possible to make any graphic images of objects for projects. It contains some elements such rectangles, ellipses, polygons, broken lines, sectors, buttons, tables, various types of graphs, etc. So let's talk about more clearly. So first element is rectangle. As we see, by clicking on this button, we can create rectangle as the object of our visualization. So next element is rounded rectangle. If we need some rounded rectangles in our project, we can use this element. So next is ellipse. Yes, we can add in our project rounded objects. Yes, it's ellipses, circles by this element. So next is polygon. Also, we can use the polygon to create some objects in our visualization. So next is broken lines. Next, buttons. By clicking on this element, we can add in our project any button that we can use it in our project. So next, sectors. Yes, this is the this is button. This command can add some sectors in our project. So next, tables, graphs, and alarm tables. So next, indicators. There are some indicators in our visualization objects. Yes, many of them very useful in our in our project. So it can be helpful. So next, it's sliders, pointers, bar graphs, and curves. Any of these elements we can add in our visualization to create very helpful and useful object in codices. So configuration elements. How can we configure these elements in our visualization project? So double clicking on any element opens the configuration menu of this element. The configuration menu contains sections for existing elements. In it, you can bind a process variable to a color change, display the values and states of variables, change the color of any element, and etc. So, this is the common view of configuration menu. We can open this menu by double-clicking on any element. In this menu, we can see some sections. In any section, we can change the features of our element. So, in first section, in this picture, we can change the form of our element. So, in this section, we can change the color of our element. For example, in this part of this section, we can add some color for our element, and in second part of this section we can add alarm color for our element. So in this section of this configuration menu we can add any variable from our codices project and from our program, and by changing the value of this variable our element will change some features. So in this section we can add some dynamical features for our element. Yes, it can move. In this section we can change features of text in our element, and in this part we can add some features for element like button. Yes, in this part of this configuration menu we can add some features for our buttons. So it's not so difficult, it's very easy but very helpful. So result of the visualization. As a result of our visualization, the program provides visual support for the PLC, which makes the perception of the program and project convenient. Yes, it's very convenient. So this is common view. How can we create visualization object? Yes, as we see, it contains some pictures, text, and all of these elements can be in dynamical state. Yes, because variables will change their values, and this object also will change every regime. So let's talk about implicit variables. The program has the following system variables that control visualization. So what kind of variables? Current visu, the name of the current visualization. The data type of this variable is string. Current color contains the name of the previous visualization. The data type is also string. So current language, the currently selected language specified in the language file, and the data type of this variable is also string. So with this implicit variable, current password, we can define password in codices user group password. So the data type of this variable is int. So access restriction for multiple clients. Several clients can connect to one PLC during targeted visualization and web visualization. Then all of them have access to PLC data at the same time. If necessary, it's possible to exclude simultaneous access by special intern comments, so that only one client at a certain moment can write data to PLC. The following comments are available to limit write to the PLC. So get write access. This is the name of the comment. And what is it? The client requires write access. The variable current write access client ID contains the ID of the client that is currently capturing write access. The current client ID is contained in current client ID. Thus, the following expression lets you know if input is all allowed for the current client. Current write access client ID equals to current client ID. So, at each request, web server will check if this client has write access. So next command, release write access. So client loses write access. Yes, this is the commands for access restriction for multiple clients. So next we will talk about Codesys HMI. Codesys HMI is visualization execution system created in the Codesys programming environment. If the project contains visualization, then when you start Codesys HMI, it will play in full screen mode. The user will be able to use the control and display functions specified in the program using the mouse and keyboard. And even if the Codesys project is read protected, yes, it's very useful for demonstrating our visualizations. So the ability to edit Codesys programs, menus and toolbars are not available to the user in this program, in this system. Therefore, all the necessary functions for managing and displaying data must be mapped to the corresponding visualization elements. To do this, the input elements configuration dialog for Codesys HMI is provided in the configuration dialog for visualization elements. So, we talk about Codesys HMI. In this video lecture, we briefly talk about visualization of programs for PLC, and I hope the video lecture was useful and interesting. Thank you very much.